In this video, we're going to be recognizing equations of quadratic form. And they tell us that quadratic equation, a, b, and c are real numbers and a cannot equal 0. And a quadratic equation can be written in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. And then equation of quadratic form, a, b, and c are real numbers and a cannot equal 0. And an equation of quadratic form can be written in the form of ax to the 2n plus bx to the n plus c is equal to 0. So what we need to recognize is that in order to be in quadratic form, the exponent in the leading term must be 2 times the exponent of the middle term. So that's what we're going to look at when we're deciding whether each of these are in quadratic form. So in 1 it says state whether each equation is of quadratic type. Do not solve. In A we have 3x squared minus 5x minus 2 is equal to 0. So if we take the exponent of the middle term is 1 and we multiply it by 2, we get 2. And 2 is the exponent of the leading term. So this is quadratic type, yes. In B we have 3x to the fourth minus 5x squared minus 2 is equal to 0. So again, we're going to take the exponent of the middle term, which was 2, and we're going to multiply it by 2, and we get 4. And 4 is the exponent of the leading term. So this is of quadratic type. In C, we have 3x squared minus 5 times x to the 1/2 minus 2 is equal to 0. So we're going to take 1/2 times 2, which is equal to 1. And 1 is not the exponent of our leading term, so this is not of quadratic type. In D, we have 3x minus 5 times the square root of x minus 2 is equal to 0. And our exponent of the middle term is 1/2 times 2 is equal to 1. And 1 is the exponent of the leading term. So this is of quadratic type. In E, we have 3x to the negative 1 minus 5x to the negative 1/2 minus 2 is equal to 0. So we have negative 1/2 times 2 is equal to negative 1. And negative 1 is the exponent of our leading term. So this is of quadratic type. And now in 2 it says, for each equation below, find the value of m which will make the equation of quadratic type. So in A we have 3x to the m minus 5x to the 1/3 minus 2 is equal to 0. So we're going to take 1/3 and multiply it by 2. And this is going to equal m. So we have 1/3 times 2 is equal to 2/3. So we could write this as 3x to the 2/3 minus 5x to the 1/3 minus 2 is equal to 0. And now in B we have 3x to the negative 2 minus 5x to the m minus 2 is equal to 0. And m is going to equal the leading term exponent, which is negative 2, times 1/2. And this is equal to negative 1. So we could rewrite this as 3x to the negative 2 minus 5x to the negative 1 minus 2 is equal to 0. And that's all for this video on recognizing equations of quadratic form.